Kill Me, Love Me is my next C-drama watch. I really, really want the next C-drama to be like the double levels of amazing. I love the double so much. I talked about it so much on this podcast, and I really want my next like fave C-drama like now, because I still want my fix for it. I even did a podcast about some C-dramas that were airing either recently or earlier in the year, and that gave me kind of similar vibes, but I still haven't found it. Maybe this show will be it, especially because Wu Jin Yan is in this show as well, and her character is extremely intriguing. So can it be the next double for me? I guess we'll see. Hi, I'm Monique. I am the host of Off by Purple Art podcast, where I talk to you about K-dramas, C-dramas, BTS, and so much more. I want to talk about Kill Me, Love Me. This is kind of like my first impressions podcast for it. I've watched actually the first 3 episodes of it, and as I said, it stars Wu Jin Yan, and she was in the double, and I was completely enamored with her. I thought she was incredible. I loved her portrayal as a Lee. I love how complicated and sophisticated that character was, how she had all these little political machinations going on in her head, but she was still able to express a lot of vulnerability. She was able to get her revenge. It was just a great drama. Of course, the chemistry between Ali and Duke Soo was just fire. So this show really caught my interest. For one, I didn't actually think she would be starring in another drama so soon, and I was actually anticipating another fantasy historical C-drama coming out. So I really was shocked that she would have one out coming out so soon, and it's going to be a short one. It's about, I think, 30 to 32 episodes, and the novel that this show was adapted from, I believe, was a very short novel as well, maybe at most 24 chapters. So it's going to be easily bingeable. The first 3 episodes, I think, set up an enemies to lovers arc, but I don't know if it's going to be an enemy to lovers arc for the majority of the show, which is what I would love. Enemies to lovers is like my bread and butter. And unfortunately, a lot of shows or books that do enemies to lovers, they make the characters kind of not enemies really quickly, whereas the premise with this show is that the female lead that is played by Wu Jin Yan, she has, at the start of the show, has her entire village destroyed, her home completely incinerated. The entire village was just burnt down, and she also loses her father. And this like happens in like the first 5 minutes of the episode. And she is under the belief that the male lead and the army that he's a part of is the reason for that happening. And she swears on blood for blood. She is out for her revenge. That is like the basic premise without giving too much spoilers. But because I am a spoiler girly, I'm going to give you some spoilers. So in the first 3 eps, she's under the mistaken belief that the male lead is the reason for her father's death and what happened to her home that was destroyed. And she has basically been spending the last 10 years of her life kind of cultivating this revenge. And she's doing this with the help of this very mysterious, almost supernatural-like organization called the Shadow Work, and basically training to become an assassin, so for that one day that she can face off against the male lead and actually kill him, where part of the title is coming from. But I say mistaken because there's definitely a lot of political machinations at play. The male lead is the 3rd prince in this drama, and we're to believe that his brother actually is a lot more conniving and has been up to no good and essentially has framed the male lead. But he has this general reputation of being psychotic, unhinged, and he was also disabled quite heavily during this time of the destruction of the female lead's family. So I said he was mistakenly framed, and him and his army actually came to blows with the female lead's other fellow villagers, and they essentially ganged up on him, and they bludgeoned him so badly that he sustained a lot of fractures to his lower body and was in a wheelchair for the past 10 years. And in the first 3 episodes, so much is revealed to us, and there might be a lot more going on with his disability than what meets the eye. And I think the tension between them is really delicious, and I really like how both are playing it. Yeah, it has some overdramatic, overwrought moments in the first 3 eps, but there is a delicious tension there, and it's genuinely at the start of it, enemies to lovers, even though there's a big misunderstanding between the two of them. And unfortunately, the female lead has been really heavily manipulated. Let me put it that way. Like, I'm going into spoilers, but I don't want to go into too much. But let me just say, she has been heavily manipulated for the past 10 years, and not even just mistakenly thinking that the male lead was a cause for a lot of the trauma that she experienced in her life. And it's how they're going to sell this to us as a romance, because I'm pretty sure that is the end goal, where the whole kill me, love me comes into play with the title. But I don't know how they're going to play it. And I kind of read a spoiler on Twitter, and someone had said that the lovers to enemies arc within the show really doesn't last for that long. And I believe there's at least 11 plus episodes out available already, even though I've only watched the first 3. And I kind of want them to play into the enemies to lovers entanglement a bit more. So I'm hoping that if they move away from that the show will progress more into them being wary allies. You know, they both have the same central goal, but they don't necessarily trust one another or like one another. Kind of like how it was with the double as well. It took a long time for Duke Soo and Ali to come to that point where their feelings were much more palpable, even though the chemistry was crackling from like the first 2 minutes. With this show, the chemistry is there, and I think both leads are giving it, but definitely I was really entrenched in the double, and this one I'm still kind of feeling out, but it has a lot of potential. So let me know your thoughts. Have you been watching Kill Me, Love Me? Is there any C-dramas that you're looking forward to? Let me know if you're watching via YouTube in the comment section below. If you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, love you, appreciate you so much. Till the next episode, bye.